Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, it's gone. The noise is gone.
Okay, see if we can get back Peg and Paul. I have to call him. There's Peg. Here's Paul. All right. Everybody ready? All right. Call the order.
Okay, so I call the Historic Preservation Committee meeting to order at 7:33 p.m. in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This is a regularly scheduled meeting pursuant with the annual meeting notice published in the January 28th, 2021 issue of the Hunterdon County Democrat. A copy of the agenda was forwarded to the Hunterdon County Democrat, filed in the Township Clerk's office, and posted on the bulletin board and Township website on April 16th, 2021.
Roll call for comments.
Alexis Antricoli,
I am here.
Gavigan,
Present.
Will Harrison,
Here.
Chris Sobieski,
I'm here.
Paul Sturchill,
Here.
Peg Sullivan,
Here.
John Stramba.
Here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I have the Pledge of Allegiance. I salute. Behind us.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I pledge allegiance
Yes, to the flag.
to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You? Okay, review of the agenda. No changes? Everything is fine? Okay. So I'd like to open to the public if there is any. Oh, need to open and then to close.
I move we open to the public that does not appear to be here.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody in the public? On Zoom?
No, they would show up.
Don't see any. Do I have a motion to close? to the public?
Seeing no people in the public, I move we close to the public.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. And has everybody taken a look at the minutes? Any comments? Any comments from the last meeting?
I move their approval.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have to abstain, John.
Okay, that's right, Paul. Okay, thank you. All right, unfinished business. Quick collection intern. I see Lauren Williams is with us tonight on the Zoom. Hey, Lauren.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for, volunteering to be our intern to do this work. Is everybody taking a look at her resume? I know Alexis has. She's the one. And anybody have any questions for her? Paul, Peg, anybody, any questions? Like in her experience or anything? Alexa, would you like to introduce her again and give us a background of her?
Sure. Lauren is currently a student in Rutgers master's program in library and information science. She's concentrating in archives and preservation. She's a former student of mine. A couple years ago now, but in any case, that's how I know her. And when this opportunity came up, I thought she would be a good fit because she has experience working in both museums and historical societies, as well as with the software we use, Past Perfect. She also has experience with both preservation and working with archival collections and museum objects. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, Lauren. Please feel free to.
Yeah, Lauren, why don't you give us a little background of you, your education and stuff also?
Sure. Thank you, Alexis, for the introduction. I grew up in New Jersey in Fanwood, so about maybe an hour or so north of East Amwell. And then I went to Brown University where I studied classics. My concentration there was in ancient Greek. I also spent a semester in Rome studying ancient history and literature. Following that, I worked at Fairfield University Art Museum, where I was the museum assistant, one of 3 staff members. So I became very familiar with not only cataloging, but also writing wall labels for the art objects, and just generally being familiar with the museum world. While I was in Connecticut, I also spent some time volunteering for the Stanford Historical Society. And there I was using Past Perfect, as Alexis alluded to, the software that you guys use. And yeah, so now I'm here at Rutgers, studying towards my Master of Information, back in New Jersey happily, and looking forward to learning more about East Amwell and about New Jersey history through this internship, as well as more about archives with Alexis's supervision.
Great. And Lauren, where in Jersey you living in Fanwood again, or?
Right now, I live in Highland Park.
Oh, okay. That's not that far, right by Rutgers. All right.
Yes, exactly.
Chris, I got a question for you. Does she need to go in front of the Township Committee, or can we bring her on board and do this? It's an internship. There's no money involved.
We can go right for it. Alexis actually reached out to me earlier in the month, and Krista, and unfortunately, this kind of slipped my mind because I had other things going on with township related business. But yeah, I think the Township Committee is of the opinion that, as long as you guys are cool with her, we're cool with her. So, welcome aboard, Lauren. Appreciate you having the interest.
Well, yeah.
I move we accept her as a volunteer.
Okay, do I have a second?
Thankfully.
Second.
Okay, I want to do a roll call vote on this one. Okay, go ahead, Renee.
Alexis Antricoli,
Aye.
Francis Gavigan,
Aye.
Will Harrison,
Aye.
Chris Sobieski,
Chris?
Sorry, I don't think I vote. I'm
No, you don't vote.
oh, my
No.
bad.
Yeah.
Paul Sturchill,
Aye.
Peg Sullivan,
Aye.
John Saramba.
I don't know. Aye.
All right.
Welcome aboard, Lauren. Alexis is going to be your mentor, and she'll schedule things with you. And we look forward to you really helping out the museum over here. Thank you very much.
I'm really excited. Thank you for having me.
I think we all look forward to working with you. Welcome aboard.
Hey, you can teach us old guys some new tricks on this stuff too.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thanks.
All right, and you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting, Lauren. I mean, unless you're interested, you can, but.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let's go to the East Amwell Historical Society unfinished business. I don't believe we have any at this point.
Well, it's just that
You're,
with COVID, I'm the only member here.
yes.
With COVID, nothing's happening, and the opening is sort of on standby, pending further guidance from the governor and the Township Committee. It would be appreciated if, and this is for Chris, if Jason and the crew can turn the water back on so there's a working bathroom for us to use, and things like that. We've got to work out the details of what's down there, but I should probably take this off if I can. I'm vaccinated for what it's worth. Will and I were in there today, and we went through the office, and we went through the storage room, and there are lots of opportunities for improvement. But there are also probably some ways that additional materials from the basement, and the quick collection can be moved if we organized and got some more archive materials, because there are no archive boxes or containers or things like that. So that would need to have some money spent.
I remember ordering a bunch before the pandemic.
I remember it too, but it's like, where's Waldo? I don't know where
Alexa,
he
yeah,
is.
last meeting, we actually talked about that to see if we could find them, because yeah, I think you ordered like 50 or 100 of these boxes
Yeah, and folders too.
and folders, and they're not found anywhere.
Now, Francis and I will be going to the basement tomorrow,
Okay,
And I've been there before, so I have a good idea.
and we'll see if what else we can come up with. Ultimately, we really need to, as much as we have space, get our stuff out of the basement,
right,
where we have control over. I say we, the society,
right.
has control over.
Yeah, and an important activity of working with the quick collection is going to be to segregate and isolate what's quick and what's not, because it's a little bit here, a little bit there. It kind of, that room office kind of became a dumping ground. There are some specialized boxes that we need. There's some lovely fabrics and antique, I think, dress materials, like it's on the doll, that are just tossed on the shelf.
Yeah,
Anyway, we need to get
Yeah,
some
you need
working
like
parts.
flat boxes.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but again, the boxes you ordered, Alexis, we really got to try to find out what happened to them, because
Yeah,
they're like nowhere to be found.
we'll need those to rehouse the collection.
I know.
Who received those boxes?
I
Like,
mean, I used some of them. I remember using some of them in the museum after they were ordered. So they were there at some point.
maybe you can ask Jim, Paul, if they're in the attic somewhere or someplace we didn't think to look.
Yeah.
Have they been around that long then, these boxes?
Oh, it's a couple of years, yeah.
Couple years, yeah.
Oh,
We spent a few $100s, as I recall, $200 or $300
More than that.
wow.
or more. And it,
Yeah, they're expensive supplies.
They were,
Jim still calls me occasionally, so I will ask him, sure.
I doubt that we'll find anything of value in the attic. That would be the last place we'd want to store anything.
I agree.
well, the basement, if it floods, would be the worst place. But
Well, at least the basement has a dehumidifier, which controls
Right.
the environment somewhat. The
But
attic is-
supplies might be up in an attic or in a nook in the basement or somewhere. I don't know.
Well, let's
I'm not good
investigate.
at stairs.
Let's
You saw
investigate.
me.
Yeah, well, again, it could be here in the basement here, who knows? But
Couldn't find it when I was in the
I,
basement.
if I remember, I still like 50 of them you ordered, because they're like very sensitive boxes for the materials. To make sure that they don't, what's the word I'm looking for?
Degrade.
Right.
Deteriorate, yeah. They're acid-free. We ordered acid-free folders and page
That's
boxes.
it, that's it, free, that's it. Okay, so we really got to look to see where they are.
Before we leave the subject,
Can I ask one question about, in terms of coordinating when Lauren can start working and get access to the materials? Who should I be talking to?
Probably Will or I at this point in time. Both our codes are still working.
we can each get in the building. We found out.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
can we give Lauren the code or?
that's a township committee decision.
Yeah,
Every
Yeah.
person gets a code. I think Alexis should have one.
Of
But
course, definitely.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, if I have one, I'm happy to like be there when she's working, if that, we need to do that.
but, and I can be, or, I don't want to speak for Will, but we can usually figure things out and juggle it. And, there's gonna need to be at least one work party.
Well, yeah, I don't think she should I mean, she's an intern, she's not a
Yeah.
member of the community, she shouldn't be there by herself, really, when
No.
she's working. Somebody from the committee or even museum. would be
Society
good.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, those shows where they declutter a house to where they have 3 piles, keep, sell, get rid of, some of that. And then an educated eye has to decide, is it get rid of or sell? There's also stuff that's in there, at least one box from the Case estate, just put in there. And it's no criticism of anybody, but that's not part of our charge. So maybe some other place to put it, or if it's time for it to go back to the Cases.
Well, that's gonna be the other.
Yeah, there was,
Uh,
there, at some point, someone shared with me a report that an archivist had done on the quick collection with recommendations.
It never got shared with me. I've only been a board member of the society for 12
Yeah,
years.
No,
Yeah.
it was the town, it was, I don't think it was through the society. I think was it Barbara who shared it with me?
Again, who knows? It's,
Okay,
but if it was anything in writing, there have been some people that have come and gone. There was a guy, I don't remember his name, who did work on it and on stuff. I don't know if he's,
maybe there's a copy of it in the office, in the files.
Before we use Lauren's valuable time,
yeah,
and I think we all agree, every minute, every hour she gives us would be very valuable. Before we ask her to get involved deeply, we should do the 3 piles or more.
the
more than 3.
decluttering.
We have to decide what is relevant to East Amwell that we must keep. What is historical but valuable elsewhere? And should we notify other towns to see if they're interested? And then there is some stuff that is really of no interest and it doesn't warrant taking up space in our area. And we're limited. That building is really limited. The office we can add some more storage, shelving or file cabinets to the office and utilize that space. The storeroom, and I recorded it on our camera and forgot to bring it.
It needs a little carpenter work from Jason.
Well, it needs a lot of work. It just become a dumping place. Some of it is labeled and carefully on the shelf,
Yeah, there's a lot of,
but
good
we
work
have to
that's
go
been
through
done.
everything, decide what's worth keeping, because we're gonna run out of space before we run out of material.
and the other thing too is, I don't know that there's ever been a real inventory or thorough inventory of either the quick collection or what the society has acquired, because there would be different people that would be giving stuff to Jim or to, you know.
It's partially done, but
But-
not complete.
Before we get rid of anything, we need to attribute or answer quick yes, quick no. Quick yes is township property, and the township would have the ultimate decision about either selling it, giving it to someone else, or putting it in the basement here.
Well, the other thing I want to ask is, we're talking about the Historical Society too and the museum. I mean, some of those members probably should be involved.
Yeah, I'll
I
bring
mean,
it up.
Alexis I know is on too, but no,
No.
you're not. Oh, I'm sorry.
Will you join, dear? Please, please.
we can talk, Francis, we'll talk.
Because, again, they have a president, they have a board too, so I think a lot of that should be also brought to their attention. Of what's the plan is, because I'm not sure who brought what in and who brought what, on
Yeah.
that side also.
It sounds like you just want to keep things that are related to East Amwell history.
Right.
Okay.
Unless there's like I mean, Dora, they do have the old dolls that are in there in the room.
Oh, no, we can't get rid of.
No, I'm saying that, but that's not specific East Amwell history. That's why I'm bringing that up. So
That's society.
that's society, right? But again, you know, there's like a crossover. So I want to make sure that they're all brought into the loop too.
Yeah, I can network with the society.
You know, Hank,
Pauline.
or, well, no, she's only trying to really, like Hank Catnazzi or Rich Catnazzi.
Right, but
one of
yeah,
those.
we can coordinate, but I certainly don't think we can afford to be paying those two guys.
No.
We need to have volunteer labor, and most of
Right.
that will probably come from the township.
Right.
Or the people on this call.
Chris, you have any ideas what you're hearing?
Yeah, a couple things going down the list here. So first off, when it comes to the key card access, you might want to talk to Krista, Alexis, because I know
Okay.
she's the one who sets up all the systems. I mean, she's familiar with the situation and everything, so you know she would have a better idea. I mean, she could hook you up with the number and everything if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so so talk to her. As the Clausen House, Francis. So with getting the water turned back on, so I understand. So you and Will are going in and out of there. Is that why?
Yes, and as we start working, people are gonna go in and out of there and
Yeah.
have bladders. It's not, it was turned off because of freezing.
Yeah.
I think we're
We're past the
frost
point.
date.
So yeah, they should be able to turn it on now.
Except for-
Well, as it comes to reopening the museum, is there anybody available to work like the schedule we had before? Because what I would, I could bring it up at our next township committee meeting, whether or not we want to, open back up to the public, in the near future.
You mean like the docents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually there's somebody there like making sure nobody's, stealing things off the wall, right?
Before
Yeah.
it closed, there were two people that were actually employees and hired who manned the museum while it was open. Now, dovetailing some docents, if some, or for tours or whatever, could be coordinated. But I know that there's like a desk there where the mill is, set up for.
Yeah.
So if it's open from 10 to 2 or 12 to 4 or whatever, there's a person manning it there, the society pays him and all of that. For docent and other kinds of educated tours, I think that might be a best use of people like Will and Pat and and certainly Alexis, if, they're so willing, and maybe set up something on the township website or whatever as to whether or not, if somebody wanted to see or tour it, have a private tour if they're interested. That would be more of a township approval, but it would also be a Rick Catenacci kind of thing, because there were concerns about, well, how do you disinfect in a time of COVID? And a lot of chemical and light sensitive materials are in there. We can't go around with sanitizer.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Okay.
Alexa, I'm sorry, but is there anything that you're aware of with the museums that you're familiar with and what they're doing in the time of COVID in terms of opening to the public and sanitizing and that?
I mean, a lot of museums have closed to the public, and even special collections. I mean, I know we're only open, like we're usually open to the public, and we're not right now. We're only open to Princeton students and faculty and staff at this point. What they're doing is, procedure. It would be harder, I think, in a museum to do this, but like, we limit the number of people who can be in the public spaces at any one time. We wipe down tables after people have used them, that kind of stuff. Like that kind of sanitizing doesn't happen in the collection spaces though. It's just like regular cleaning because we can't use those chemicals in those spaces.
Yeah,
But those are not ever open to the public, so.
and ours is. So probably, I think they were looking at like fall before even considering opening to something.
Okay, so we got a little ways to go here then. All right, well, whenever the, I guess the Historic Society's, comfortable with, moving things back to open, we'll take it up then, I suppose. But in the meantime, yeah, I'll talk to Jason. I'll see if he can't turn the water on.
Thank you.
All right,
course.
Chris, thanks.
No worries.
A
right,
couple
well-
boxes of gloves would help, those kinds of things, masks.
Gloves,
Somebody comes, gloves.
masks.
Disinfectant, yeah. But again, I think we'll wait on that until we find out what the governor's gonna do. Well, you wanted to bring some stuff up too about your board thing.
Well, I think we did discuss
Everything?
the museum. In fact, that I took a video and then I forgot to bring my video, but just showing how cluttered the storeroom is. The office is in fairly good shape, but we could utilize that area much more efficient.
Yeah. One thing that I don't know what the status of it is, maybe you would, Chris, but when they got the organ from the Linvale Church, they've also gotten, I guess, bellows and
The blower.
the blower,
the
so it could
organ-
be used.
Organ was originally powered by the foot pedals. Organs, by the way, for the record, operate on vacuum, not pressure. So you're pulling air out by the pumping. So all these pump organs work on negative air pressure. So what they would have to have, and they had a blower in the basement of the church. And they hooked the negative side to the organ.
And that's what's sitting next to it.
So we can't play, the organ is just a visual artifact right now.
Unless the blower were set up in the basement and that becomes a township and society, because there would have to be
Cut
a
a
hole cut,
3-inch round hole in the floor.
and it looked like there was already a 3-inch or maybe 6-inch hole that had been cut in the floor to the left of it. I don't know if you caught that on your pictures, but
I did not look at the floor.
yeah, so, that's an area of opportunity, because wouldn't it be a great thing if we could get Master Harrison, who has used those, to play a little concert for us
He's retired.
or others.
I am not an organist. I can make it sound like an organ. But I am not, don't ask me to play the Hallelujah chorus or anything. Just forget it. But I can play Silent Night and make it sound like, but that right now it's dead.
Okay.
And there may be members that still live in the area of that church who would have some interest in seeing the old organ or playing it or having a concert, because we do need to do some outreach to the community. And if nothing else, everybody stands 6 feet apart outside and hears, like we did with the violin concert at the opening.
Okay. All right, anything else on the museum or the society?
I think that's enough.
I do have a quick update on the roof grant stuff.
Yep,
So
thank you.
the county finally got back to me. They said it's cool for us to use the faux slate. I'm just waiting for them to give me some sort of written approval so I can forward that to the state, and then they can approve it, and then we can start getting this done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they move at a faster than glacial pace for once. So that's that.
That'll be good, because, again, it's been almost 2 years since we got the grant, so.
I know. Well, COVID kind of screwed everything up, and
I know.
I don't know why we didn't just go with the slate in the first place, but
Well, here's the other thing, Chris, that I'm not worried about too, with the cost of the materials and the grant amount that we got, not do we have enough money to actually fix it? That's another.
Yeah, I would think I think it's actually cheaper to get the faux than it is to get the real slate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so we should be all right in that department.
Okay.
And I talked to Margaret, making sure, we still got the money in the budget, and she, if I interpreted her correctly, we do. So, shouldn't be a worry on that front. And the county, of course, knows what we're up to, so, there shouldn't be any problems there either, hopefully, fingers crossed, right?
Okay.
What might be worth doing or considering, or through the county or something, is to sort of give a heads up to SHPO that this is coming and that we're wanting to get it done this spring and summer before another winter and snow event. Because it used to be SHPO was a black hole. And the people that we knew have now retired or left.
Right, but like Chris says, he's got to wait for written approval from the county before he can do all that, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
SHPO, is that like the, like a materials supplier?
No,
Okay.
SHPO is the state historic preservation office.
Okay, yeah,
And
well,
they
that's what I'm
have to
talking about. They
sign
need
off
to,
on everything too.
yeah. I know, that's why I'm waiting for their letter. Once they, I talked to them a few months ago, and they're the ones who told me to talk to the county, so, yeah, as soon as I get that letter from the county, I'm gonna send it up to them.
The owner of the Larison, Dr. Larison's office on Larison Lane, the historical building, recently removed his slate roof and put up a faux slate roof. It took the roofers 2 days to complete the job, 2 days.
Well, that's good.
It's a building about the same size as the Paulson House. And so this company, I forget the name of it now, came in with a crew and they put up a big tarp and they just took all the slates and just let it slide down across this tarp into the lawn and picked it all up and then put plywood on the roof and then put this faux slate up. You ought to stop, go look at it.
Yeah.
So I took pictures of that, which I forgot again.
One thing that might be worth including in that project is that as they take the slates off, that they are maintained. They could be a thing that could be a fun, build by a brick and you're part of that, a slice of East Amwell history could be sold rather than just go bombs away. There is a market, I think, for the slate, but there could certainly be a use for it.
Well, we should be diligent about that and not end up with a pile of stuff that nobody knows what to do with.
Right, and that would be the Township Committee on that side would have to make that decision. We can't, because it's money and they would have to determine whether or not that we keep it or we get rid of it. We cannot do that. That's.
Yeah. I would think that like removing, getting the old stuff off the site would be part of the, the scope of work for the roofers.
Right.
But, unless they're making us hire somebody else to do that part. But even still, I would think that's part of the grant. I'll ask everybody in the Township Committee what they think. I mean, I have no opposition to that. It seems like if we can make a few extra bucks off doing that, why not, right?
It's a good idea, Chris, but again, that all has to do with the grant and how it's written. And
Yeah, there's always something, right?
you have to follow those things to a T.
Yeah.
One way or another, the state can come back and say, hey, guys, we want that money back. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
you got a point there, yeah.
As a practical matter, if we get pallets, slate is put on the pallets, then I can come with my tractor with the hooks on it and move pallets.
No, but again, I'm saying it's a great idea, but again, you gotta look at insurance regulations, all this other crap with this, and when you have a grant from the state, there's all these different conduits that are in that grant, that if you go one way or the other, you can blow the grant from the state level completely out of the water, and you don't want to do that.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about
I'll-
at the point where it's waste, considered waste.
Again, that's part of the grant. That's what Chris says.
I'll ask the state when I forward them the letter. I'll give them a call beforehand to let them know it's coming, and then
Yeah, because
I'll bring it up with them.
I crossed them for a pain in the ass.
And then me.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I don't think that's a bad idea. I just want to make sure that we don't screw ourselves up for doing it that way.
You always need money.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, going forward, Marilyn Cummings Historic Bridge Certification.
I haven't talked to Marilyn. I know she was in touch with the state, but I did speak with the county, and Commissioner Holt did confirm to me that that bridge is slated for repair this year before it deteriorates anymore.
Okay, so she did her
So I
work.
can keep following up with
Marilyn.
roads and bridges.
Okay. Any ideas? Remember the West Hamel anniversary we talked about it? Any ideas? We want to get involved with that or not? At this point, have we heard anything else?
Were we to follow up with the representative from West Amwell on that?
Yes, and we haven't heard back.
Well, we're running out of time, aren't we?
Yes. But can you try to get a hold of somebody at the West Hamel Historical Society to see the next meeting? Or even beforehand and let us know what their intentions are.
Sure, I'll reach out to them.
Okay, thanks. All right, any other new business? Anybody up there? No?
Just grateful.
Okay. All right, above ground swimming pool on Lindvale Road. Has everybody had a chance to look at this application?
There's copies of the application.
I looked at it in detail,
Okay,
and as far as I'm concerned, let them do whatever they want. This does not affect historical issues at all. It's just putting in a above ground swimming pool, which really does not impact the
Right.
neighbors, and then the neighbors don't object.
I mean, did anybody else have any comments on the board on it?
If it's where I think it is in the Sourlands, so there are Sourlands, water and other that,
Right.
as to how you fill pools. I know there's an ordinance on that would be, but I see no reason to deny this.
Yeah.
Other-
Does everybody agree?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
Same here.
all right, good. All right, so we'll let the planning board know that, there's no opposition on the historical society. I'll let them know when I go on the planning.
Historic Preservation Committee for the record.
But yeah, I know, I'm all messed up. So you guys, thank you. That's why he's here, is keep me in line.
I think, Renee, you knew that anyway, didn't you?
I just refer to it as hysterical committee.
Yeah, me too. All right, Chris, any reports on the Township Committee?
Nothing too major beyond what I had said before regarding the roof, but one thing that did come up right before this meeting, Pam sent me an email, and I think she sent it to a bunch of other people about the 2021 tax bill mailing. So we send everybody their tax bill every year, and sometimes we also include other stuff that other committees want to bring to people's attention. So I think I'm reading her email correctly. Yeah, June. If you guys have anything you want to add to that letter, you got to get it to her by June 1st. So, I don't know if that's pertinent, but that I figure that you guys might want to know that just in case. And that's all I got.
And so if anybody has any suggestions for that letter at the next meeting, let us know, and then we'll.
Probably would be worthwhile getting last year's letter to look at, to try to see how much space we might have and what kind of things we could do. We could give an update on the museum or the Quixes or private tours if the town would let us.
Maybe you can ask Krista and then forward it to everybody. Okay, Farmland and Open Space Committee, any updates there?
Nothing to report, John. Actually, last week was the first meeting since the reorg meeting in January. There just hadn't been a lot of business. Last week's meeting was less than 10 minutes because the agenda went out just before the meeting. So I know Catherine Fullerton was the administrator. She resigned back in February. So They have a new administrator on board, and I guess she's just coming up to speed. So anyway, and nothing to report. There was nothing discussed.
Has anything been submitted for preservation in the last 6 months or so? Is there anything pending for that?
No, in fact, that was one of the, quick points discussed. There's been no new submissions.
All right, no vouchers to present at this point. So I'm gonna ask for open to the public and a close to the public in one referendum, so I can just move on with that.
The motion recognizing there is no public presence.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, correspondence, I have some, I'm gonna give this to Renee, it's that ASHL membership, it's up on April 30th, I don't know if you want to renew it or not, it's for $98. But I want to bring it up next meeting, even if it goes in late, because I want Renee to give copies of all the.
Yeah, well, some of those memberships, and I don't know if it's this one, are tied to our past perfect license or ability to get some stuff. There are some perks of one of the members.
Well, that's this one, but I still want Renee to
Yeah,
forward it to everybody, so then we can approve it next meeting and send it out even if it's late, so. Okay? Okay.
somebody disappeared.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, so wait till we get back to adjourn. All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I really don't think so. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for coming out, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
And thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Have a good night, everybody.
See you, everyone.
Thanks for more.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So this is,
I think
yeah,
so,
just
yeah.
make a copy and send it to everybody.
So we have to just put the letters in.
And then you can circle the 98 bucks. That's what we